Once upon a time, in a small quiet village on the banks of the Himalayan Bay, there lived a young boy named Rahul. Rahul was famous throughout the village because of his short-tempered nature and fickle mind. His mind was full of thoughts all the time. Imagine that the storm of his thoughts had made his mind completely restless. It seemed as if peace had disappeared from his life, and he was always lost in his own thoughts, and was living a stressful life. Due to his disturbed mind and anger, he did not have good relations with his family members and villagers, due to which he started feeling even more lonely and humiliated. He goes into a state of even greater mental stress. Once upon a time, Rahul was roaming in the streets of his village. Then he met a Buddhist monk who was sitting in meditation under the shade of a tree. An aura of pure peace was visible from the face of the Buddhist monk. In this immense peace, Rahul got attracted towards the Buddhist monk. When Rahul came closer to the Buddhist monk, he felt a positive energy around him. Bharat realized that the source of this immense peace and positive energy was somewhere within this Buddhist monk. So he sat there and waited for her to open her eyes. After some time, when the Buddhist monk opened his eyes, he found a young boy sitting in front of him. Joe seemed very stressed and full of negative emotions. Rahul looked at the Buddhist monk with benevolence and said very politely, "Master, my mind is very disturbed and the thoughts in my mind are eating me. I don't feel peace even for a moment. Can you teach me how to calm my troubled mind?" The Buddhist monk looked at Rahul with compassion, understanding his pain, and said, "My dear child, I want to tell you a story. The secrets of mental peace and happiness are hidden in this story. Would you like to hear the story?" Rahul nodded yes and agreed to listen to the story with full concentration. His curiosity was at its peak. He was eager to hear the story. Long time ago, there lived a man named Shakti in a city. Shakti was a very ambitious person, and he needed help from people in every work. If he heard failure and evil from anyone, he would go into deep anxiety and stress. He believed that success and material powers would bring the desired happiness. But the more he ran after success and praise, the more he sank into mental stress. But suddenly Shakti came face to face with the famous Buddhist monk of that time, whose name was Mahakoshal. Mahakoshal used to teach meditation to his disciples, and he himself was a very meditative and enlightened person. Impressed by Mahakoshal's amazing concentration, Shakti wanted to know from him the solution to calm her wandering mind. Shakti said that Mahant always runs after success and constantly tries to achieve more. Still, I do not get any momentary satisfaction or self-satisfaction. How can I find peace amidst this constant restlessness? The Buddhist monk looked at him with pity and replied, "Your mind is like a turbulent river that is always flowing. You can never be still, so to calm this restless mind, you have to learn the art of letting your thoughts go without any interruption." Shakti was surprised and asked how I could let go of my thoughts. After all, I am also bound by my desires and ambitions. Hearing this, the Buddhist monk smiled. The Buddhist monk said, "Imagine that you have a glass of water in your hand. Now the longer you hold it, the heavier it will become. And if you hold it for too long, your hand will start hurting. But if you loosen that grip and let go, your burden will end." Rahul listened carefully to the entire story and its message. He understood that clinging to his thoughts and desires increases his burden, and it creates unrest within. Now Rahul was eagerly waiting to hear the end of the story. Saying this, the Buddhist monk continued the story. Following the advice of a Buddhist monk, Shakti started the practice of renouncing thoughts. He watched his thoughts and feelings come and go without any prior judgment. Now he had stopped holding on to thoughts. Thoughts would arise and go away on their own. Gradually he began to realize that his desires and emotions were the cause of all suffering. As Shakti delved deeper into meditation, he discovered that living in the present was the only source of inner peace. He could get rid of the constant chatter of his mind by establishing himself in the present. Gradually, Shakti's mind became like a calm lake, which reflected the outside world within itself. He gave more importance to satisfaction in the simplicity of life and gave up his attachment to material wealth. As soon as the news of such change in power spread among the people, people started coming from far and wide to seek guidance. Teaching people the art of freeing thoughts and guiding them to find peace within themselves, he became a symbol of peace and wisdom among the people. After finishing the story of Shakti and the monk, Mahakoshal Buddhist monk remained silent for some time so that the meaning of this story could sink into Rahul's mind well. When Rahul looked at the Buddhist monk, a new understanding was now visible in his eyes. Rahul said softly that I see wisdom in this story, but how do I apply it in my life? How can I calm my troubled mind? The Buddhist monk smiles warmly at Rahul's question, and then said that the practice of calming the disturbed mind begins with self-awareness. Take some time every day to observe the thoughts arising within you. Pay attention to the feelings that come to your mind and notice how they come and go like clouds passing in the sky. Rahul closed his eyes and started observing his thoughts as told by the Buddhist monk. As soon as he started paying attention to the thoughts arising within him, he realized this. She felt a constant stream of worries and desires flowing inside her. Just one feeling gave him a wonderful peace. He also realized that it is separate from all thoughts and feelings. The Buddhist monk further said that just as Shakti had separated herself from all attachments, develop the practice of freeing your mind from disturbing thoughts and emotions. Accept the idea as it comes without any prejudice, and then slowly let them go, and focus your attention on the present moment. But Rahul interrupted and said, "What if thoughts and feelings are so strong?" The Buddhist monk said it persists and refuses to leave the mind. The Buddhist monk agreed with Rahul and nodded, and said that there will be many such occasions when a storm of questions will be running in your mind. When your mind will not listen to you, then you will have to believe in the power of your breath. Once again, the monk told Rahul to close his eyes and concentrate on his breathing, feeling his stomach rising and churning. The Buddhist monk told that whenever your mind is disturbed, immediately return to your breathing. The instrumental movement of the breath will instantly pull you back into the steps of the present and will make you feel peaceful. Try concentrating on your in and out breaths as instructed by a Buddhist monk. He experienced mental peace through this small exercise. He remembered that her breath was always with him, reminding him of the present moment, brings comfort and peace. Seeing this development of Rahul, the Buddhist monk smiled softly and said, "My dear, calming the restless mind is a practice that requires a lot of effort and strong willpower because muscles become stronger with continuous exercise. Similarly, regular practice also calms the mind." Nodding his head in approval, he thanked this Buddhist monk and promised that from today onwards, he would be able to calm his troubled mind and free his non-possessive powers. The Buddhist monk placed his hand on Rahul's shoulder and said, "I have great confidence in your ability, and you will soon find inner peace. But remember that it will not be easy. But if you try with a strong will and an open heart, you will definitely find the peace that is within you." From that day, Rahul started trying to calm his troubled mind and set aside a separate time to meditate every day. He allowed the thoughts to arise in his mind without any restriction and tried to keep myself in the present through my breathing. As he practiced over time, Rahul felt peace within himself. As time passed, Rahul came to be known as a source of wisdom and peace. As time passed, Bharata came to be known as the source of knowledge and peace. The villagers started coming to Rahul to calm their troubled minds. Buddhist monk teachers share the power of self-awareness when helping others. Buddhist monks teach to find inner peace. Along with this, he also taught the art of paying attention to one's breathing and freeing one's thoughts. Such residents prospered and got invaluable peace of mind. Through the teachings of the Buddhist monk and the practice conducted by Rahul, the art of abandoning thoughts and living in the present spread far and wide. He changed the lives of many people, and as time passed, his life changed even more.
Rahul's calming influence extended beyond the boundaries of his village. People from nearby villages and cities hear the story of Rahul's transformation and come to seek advice from him. Rahul became a ray of hope for the people burdened with mental burden. Rahul's teachings were not limited to meditation and discourse only. Rather, he laid more emphasis on doing everyday tasks with awareness. He reminded people to be aware of their emotions. Pay attention to what you do throughout the day and how you react to events happening around you. Do every work with full awareness. Enjoy the taste of each piece when you eat. When you stand in front of the sunlight, feel its warmth. Listen carefully and understand what people say. Small changes bring miraculous changes in people's lives. From Rahul's teachings, people learned that the joy of life lies in living in the present. Friends, this is the end of the story.